Welcome, everyone, to Dumb Laws from the Grave. I'm your host, Grave Knives, coming to you from the Grave's Court. Today, we're going to be checking out some dumb laws in a state, but this time around, it's actually the second round for that state. Been there before, went and checked out some laws in the past. Now it's time to come back and see what else is new. If there's new, if there's not, whatever. We'll go check them out. We'll relive the fun times if it's just oldies and goldies. But, yeah, hey, come along. I hope you enjoy, and I'm going to keep this super short. So, with that all being said, let's see what they got. All right, everybody, so getting us started with part one for round two with Maine. The first law on the list here is Rumford, Maine. It is illegal to bite a landlord under any circumstances. But I say, hold on. What if like somebody, what if they pay for their rent in a less than conventional way? And maybe during that payment collection, things are hot and heavy and someone gives a little nibble, or maybe they're just into that. I think there should be some circumstances where it's okay. Otherwise you kind of just look like you're kink shaming. Hollowell. It is illegal to park your horse upwind on a windy day. Well, besides that being a really old law, I would presume, I don't know, maybe people still ride horses a lot over there in Hollowell, Maine. But most likely it's an older law. And it's kind of more funny than it is dumb. But first of all, let's see. A horse doesn't have the exact same kind of exhaust that a car does. So, and that's something that could stay there and linger for a period of time. So you're parking your, upwind or whatever, where the wind is going to be blowing past everybody, then yeah, it's a mean thing, kind of a dick thing to do, I would presume. But however, I don't think there was like a large parking lot ever anywhere for, come park your horses over here on the side of town, No, usually it's just in front of the damn building that you were at. I don't think there was a lot of options, so I can imagine a lot of that being overlooked too, even though it may be a dumb law or whatever. But yeah, I guess it would be a dumb law. Just considering how can you? There's not a lot of parking. You're limited to where you can put that horse to begin with. Moving on. Enough talk about horses. Damn it. Waterville, Maine. It is illegal to blow one's nose in public. Hopefully they're talking about your nose. I'm sure they are. Although it'd be even dumber if it wasn't. You never know. Portland, Maine. It is unlawful to tickle a woman's chin with a feather duster. See? Look at that shit. There is kink shaming going on over here. What the fuck? Also in Portland, shoelaces must be tied while walking down the street. Yeah, that's a pretty dumb law. That's a pretty damn dumb law. Yeah. What's it matter? Was there that... Oh, people are getting sued all the time because they're falling in front of businesses and they're suing the businesses. And so now we have to enforce the law. And they're falling because their shoelaces are untied. In the most ridiculous of scenarios. I'm sorry, the most plausible of scenarios. Yeah, no, that's a pretty dumb law. There's tax dollars at work. You know what? Actually, though, thinking about it, it could be like a dress code. I don't know if Portland, Maine has a dress code or something. Maybe at one time they did, which obviously we see plenty of old laws. And if there's a dress code, they may have that incorporated in the dress code. Unfortunately, there's no further information there, so we have to speculate. But I'd say that the dress code thing is probably a good chance of why that's there. Let's see. In Wells, Maine, advertisements may not be placed in cemeteries. Yeah, I would hope. I mean, like, can you see it? You're like, I could see advertisements. You're right. Like here, playing your funeral, before it's too late, while you're visiting your loved ones. It's like, yeah, that'd be great to see. I'm talking about, like buy the new coffin, the new luxury edition. Start making payments now on your layaway purchase. Or maybe McDonald's, like after you're grieving, come wolf down a Big Mac. Come on, everybody. Mom was loving it, so come on. Honor her memory with a Big Mac and a large fry and a milkshake. Tasty. Anyways. Prohibited acts. The following acts are a violation of this chapter: the willful disfigurement, marking, defacement, or tampering with any tomb, gravestone, monument, or other object placed or designed as a memorial to the dead, or any fence, railing, or other thing placed about or enclosing a burial place, except gravestone rubbings and the cleaning of monuments. I guess rubbings is just, I don't know if that's a process or a person or a job title or a tool. I don't know. Cleaning of monuments to the guidelines of the Maine Old Cemeteries Association, MOCA, shall be exempt from this section. To repair, remove. Okay, these are like posting of any signs except those incidental to the operation of the cemetery. Placards or advertisements except historical markers in the cemetery area. So yeah, it's like, don't put up like, hey, we mow the yard here, You want your yard to look as good as your mom's plot? Give us a call. It would happen eventually somewhere. What else is it? Willfully littering a cemetery or allowing materials to be scattered or blown about a cemetery as to cause litter. Operating snowmobiles, mini bikes, trail bikes, or other all-terrain type off-the-road recreational vehicles in a cemetery area. Because, yeah, that's where I go. I'm like, hey, I got my four-wheeler. You know where I want to go? Drive around? Where there's a whole bunch of, like, rocks sticking out of the ground. So, dumbass. I don't know, snowmobiles, I could just see that being like, oh, how'd you wreck your snow? I hit old man Smithers' fucking tomb, his gravestone. Oh, that's nice. Anyways, what else is that? The removal or disinterment of a dead human body or remains from a gravesite, whether marked or unmarked, except in accordance with a permit for the municipal clerk or a court order. Well, yeah, don't be digging up dead bodies. Weirdos. Wells, do not feed. Deer may not be fed. Do not feed deer is what I was going to say, but yeah. Prohibited conduct exemptions. No person except the commissioner of the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife or his or her designee, or the director of the United States Fish or Wildlife Service or his or her designee, shall feed or bait deer in the town of Wells. This prohibition shall not apply within the boundaries of the Rachel Carson National Wildlife Refuge, which is property owned by the United States and managed by the United States Fish and Wildlife Service. The official explanation provided by the town of Wells is a following. The large number of deer attracted by feeding and baiting in and around public and private property increases the local deer population. Deer carry the deer tick, known to cause Lyme disease, which is a serious debilitating illness that threatens the public health. When there are more deer and deer move into areas frequented by people, such as roads and yards, there are corresponding increase in potential for deer ticks to come into contact with people. In addition, overpopulation and domestication of deer contribute to traffic safety problems and the destruction of important plants and vegetation on public and private property. When deer come to depend on humans for food, the natural order and balance in nature are upset, and it is harmful for their long-term well-being. Okay, that's a lot for just like not feeding I don't know. Where I grew up, there was a spot where you could go up to, and there was a fence, and there was always plenty deer on the other side. If you want to take like deer food and toss it to them, kibble, whatever. But it's been so long since I've drove through there. I can't really say if people still do that, but now the thing with like bringing them in and being a traffic safety thing. Yeah, and damn, the deer tick is kind of accurate too. But yeah, I mean, deer can actually, they can feed themselves. They've been doing it for a while before humans came around. They weren't depending on, like, oh, I need your bowl of kibble or whatever it is you're giving them. I don't know. I can't even remember what the hell I gave them. I was a little kid. Leave me alone. Waterboro. Dog leashes may not be over 8 feet in length. I don't think I would want my dog's leash to be over 8 feet in length, and that would kind of make it pointless. Anyways, Town of Waterboro Dog Ordinance. Section 3, Control. It shall be unlawful for any dog, licensed or unlicensed, to run at large, except when used for lawful hunting purposes. At large means off the premises of the owner or keeper and not under the control of any person by means of personal presence and attention, as will responsibly control the conduct of such dog. Okay. So, reasonable control for the purpose of this ordinance shall mean the use of a leash, cord, chain, or otherwise of not more than 8 feet in length, or unless confined within a vehicle under restraint. Why is this dumb? It says right there that if it's hunting, it's okay. So that's about the only time I could see, if you're out in the woods, if it's your own property, okay. If there's a dog park, I guess that would apply, yeah. If you're walking your dog down the road and you want to just aimlessly have a 20-foot cord, no. Man, don't you even care about the dog? That dog could just run to the road and Scruffy's dead because of you and your 20-foot freaking leash. So just chill. Now, I don't really see too much of it actually being a dumb law, in my opinion, but, I'm sure someone may have an idea of why or an opinion. Why not? South Berwick, Maine. It is illegal to park in front of Dunkin' Donuts. Well, yeah, how are the cops going to get there if your ass is parking and you're in the way? They got things to do. They need to get in, get out. It had to be said. Article 3, parking, standing, or stopping. Parking prohibited. No person shall park a vehicle at any time upon any of the streets or parts of streets described. Main Street West in front of Dunkin' Donuts to a point 25 feet south. Main Street East from the southern entrance of the municipal office. Paul Street south from a point of 150 east of Main Street to Highland Avenue. Seems quite a bit. Railroad Avenue, both from Norton Street to Spring Street. And Jewel Avenue, east. The entire street. Don't fucking park down here. I've seen streets where you can't park down the entire street. Norton Street, both from the intersection of Main Street to the intersection of Colcord Street and Wadley Lane, Wadley Lane, north, parking permitted on school side only. Yeah, so you can get the kids from, you pick up kids from school, whatever, parents. But I'm sure it's not like a prolonged, I don't know, maybe it is a prolonged parking. That sounds something like a pickup, though, like a pickup spot. Anyway, so yeah, it's illegal to park in front of Dunkin' Donuts. That is kind of weird. Like everything else, I mean, maybe I don't know if these are like that's the municipal office. I don't know what's at any of these other junctions or points of location that they speak of, but it's just like they are very specific about in front of Dunkin' Donuts. I wonder I wonder if there was a cop that actually asked someone to write that. Hey, come on, here's $20. Just make it a law, please. I don't know, $200. It is illegal to, in Freeport, Maine, it is illegal to expectorate from any secondary story window. I'm sure, or higher. And once again, there's that damn word, expectorate, spit. It's illegal to spit from a second story window or higher. I'm sure or higher is there too. Otherwise, they've got a loophole there. I wasn't on the second story. I was on the third. Anyways, I don't know. You tell me what you think the dumbest law in this little list was. Mind you, this is only part 1. I'll be back with part 2 shortly. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think is the dumbest law so far. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you then.